On to GenCon. GenCon 2016. This is happening in like a couple weeks. So this podcast, when it comes out, it's really it's like 3 weeks away.
3.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, this podcast comes out not too short of GenCon. So if you're listening to this video or watching this video, sorry, I'm going to try to have these videos up for it the couple days before GenCon happens. Now the podcast is going to come out the week before. So cool.
You thought getting around in the GenCon hall was impossible. Now wait when everybody's standing in the middle of the lane catching Pokemon.
This is going to be great. They need to have rare Pokemon at GenCon.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
With little roped off sections.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. It's going to be brutal. People are just going to get mowed over.
They're going to get trampled. First GenCon death.
Yeah. They need to have like on Pokemon Go where you bring up the thing that you can actually activate the camera and see through. And it just shows the lines for the map and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, man, people are... You thought walking and texting was bad? Walking and Pokemon capture.
Can I get in your booth? There's a Squirtle in there.
Stand still. There's a Squirtle on top of the games. No, don't buy that one.
Yeah, he's going to fall.
Yeah. But so let's just talk about some of the stuff we do. Me and Matt and I travel to GenCon together. We usually do stuff together, and I never see Jeremy. Jeremy does his own thing with his group of people with lots and lots of stamina, apparently.
Yeah, my other group.
Yeah.
The two groups never mingle.
No, not really. Yeah.
Once. It's a terrible idea.
With Daniel.
My brother was there too.
Oh, yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a terrible idea.
You go with
I'm
two
kidding.
groups?
It was fine.
Is that what you said?
No, he's just saying his group is different than our group.
Oh,
because of
gotcha.
GenCon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the difference is you guys like do 2 events. We do like 27 and a half events.
Yeah, we're going to go over our events here in a minute.
Okay.
I didn't write all mine down.
Oh. You didn't write them all down? Do you have a list of them?
At the house.
Do you remember any of the stuff you're doing?
Some.
Well, let's talk about this.
Okay.
How many times have you all been to GenCon? I think we've mentioned this on the show, maybe. I think I've been every year since 2003 when it started in Indianapolis. And I think you said last episode that you've been maybe 10, maybe 11 times. Oh, he's got something. He's bringing it up.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
It's a phone. By the way, Matt just got an iPhone 6, everybody. Please
Yay.
clap from him, from your cars, from your home.
6S.
He went from a 4 or a
4S to a
3 or
6S.
some kind of
Yeah.
flip phone or something.
Flip phone. Yeah, I had a flip phone.
He was playing Clash of Clans on his Palm Pilot. I just went a lot of nerdy right there.
Yeah. Well, the answer is 4.
The answer is 4.
Yeah, this will be my 4th.
Nice.
So.
Speaking of which, I found a Palm Pilot at Goodwill yesterday. Did not purchase
Okay,
it.
I was about to say, please do not buy it. I'm sure I got the one in the bottom of some bin at my house you can have.
Well, while Matt's looking that up, we're going to go over the events that we have scheduled.
I've been going since 2008, it looks like.
Oh, nice. So this will be your 8th GenCon?
Is that it?
8th, yeah.
Seems like more, huh?
So, because I started going for the WoW Minis.
Let me see your pen. All right, anyway, so the events we're going to, we've got Dice Tower Live, because I'm always going to go to that, obviously. And our other event, which is completely buzzkill, is the gaming library. Go over your stuff.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember now. Pretty much is what we do is we pull up all of the events and we just look at them and say, okay, that game sounds fun. Let's try that. That game sounds fun. Let's try that. And we pick basically like a bunch of games that we don't know. And so we'll play those games. And some of the stuff that people will know, they'll have like True Dungeon. We'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll play like Harry Potter game. I don't know what's going on. And so there's a Harry Potter game. So we're just like, I will sign up for that. We're both Harry Potter nerds, or all of us are. Other than that, I don't remember what the other games are.
Is it just a bunch of demos?
Yeah, just all demos. We literally just sign up for bunches of demos for games that we don't know or never heard of. Because generally, if they're popular games, one of us will buy it or one of us will end up playing it somewhere. So we just look for those kind of, we would normally wouldn't be able to play this anywhere else games.
I gotcha.
And that's why I don't remember the names, because they're not popular games. And
do you all ever sign up for tournaments at GenCon?
we did a Thunderstone tournament one year.
Do you feel like it's a waste of time?
I don't prefer to play games I already know how to play at GenCon.
Agreed.
Dice Tower Con, cool. I like it because it's a little more relaxed. But if I'm going to GenCon, I want to play and demo as many games as I can, see what I like, see what I don't like.
Yeah, I agree with that. We've pretty much talked about that, I think, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do make time for the event hall or the vendor hall. So it's not like all events all the time, but we do have very sectioned, like our days planned from like 8 a.m. to like 10 p.m.
That's crazy. I feel too restricted if I do that.
I felt bad when we had like one thing to do every day.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really don't want to go. Like when we scheduled Waterdeep one year and I played it and I got into the finals. Like I got into the semifinals, won and got into the finals or whatever it was. And
You didn't even go to it, right?
I didn't go.
Yeah.
Because it was on Sunday and it's like, that's deal day.
Yeah, you woke up a little late and then you were just like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not worried about
I
that.
lost.
Yeah. I signed up for War Machine tournaments before, but those are like 10 hours long and it's kind of like, it just kills a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but tournaments, yeah, I'm kind of done with tournaments in a con environment. Well, actually, no, maybe just Gen Con environment. Because I'd probably play a tournament at a different place. So, do you ever do the Mayfair Games thing where you get the badges, the little clay and...
Don't have time for that.
It's the last year. It's great though because... Yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun. You play the different games. You get to play games that you haven't played, as long as you haven't played every Mayfair game ever. And then you get like a
little ribbon.
Little ribbon. It's one of the resources for Catan. And once you get all of them, you can take them in and get knighted. You get the knight ribbon. You get some kind of item off the table, which last year I got like Catan D6 dice. It's like little fuzzy dice for your car. It says Settlers of Catan. They're blue or yellow and red. Do you see them?
Yeah, I see
They're
them.
right there. To your right.
My left.
Whatever.
You're right. I see them.
Anyway, so I mean, you also get a 50% off one of their games. It can't be like a brand new game that's released like at the convention or something, but 50% off pretty much anything else.
Right.
So
Yeah, they
play like
restrict
10
like 4
games to
games
that.
usually. Something like that.
they don't restrict that many, but it's totally worth it. I mean, their prices are pretty reasonable anyway, and then you bust 50% off of that. I got Isle. I think they had Isle of Sky for $38 at Origins because they had the same event at Origins, and I got it for half that.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But how much time did you spend to do that?
But the games we played, we hadn't played before.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, as long as you're not playing a bunch of games you've already played, it's totally worth it because you play a lot of games. There may not have been games that you're like super excited about, but we came across some really fun games, I think, like Six Nymph. Nymph?
Yeah.
Whatever
That was
it is.
interesting.
That was a cool game. Like, I'll probably pick up a copy of that. I thought it was that. It's just a little card game, kind of like a ladder building game, or not really ladder, but you're trying to place numbers higher than each other in a couple of different slots. And it just worked out really well. And so you find some gems, I think. Not that it hasn't been talked about, but I'm just saying it's kind of interesting because I wouldn't have just sat down and played that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, we like to play demos and stuff. And I don't feel like I've ever went to Gen Con and felt like, oh, I have nothing to do. Do you ever feel like that, Matt?
That I will have nothing to do?
Like you're walking around and you're like, man, I'm bored.
No, that'll never happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you can... The vendor hall is so big, you can walk around it a couple of times. You're going to miss stuff. You know, you'll see things that'll catch your eye that you didn't see before.
Yeah.
You'll see people you didn't maybe catch the first time through. You make some new friends. You know, it just... Yeah, it's not going to get bored in the dealer hall.
I agree. Well, let's go to one thing that obviously Gen Con does well. Bringing out new games.
Yeah.
I mean, last year there were like 700 games or something like that. Now, there are a couple weeks to Gen Con, so we do have less games. So at the time of this recording, there was only about less than 400 entries. Obviously, there could be more, but we're going to go round robin here, bring up some games we're excited about. Some of us were excited about the same game, so we kind of just let one person lead into that. I'll start off with Seven Ronin.
Do it.
Now, last year, this game is designed by Merrick Meeple, Pietrus. I said it right. It's by Gray. 3. I got a 3. It's by Gray Fox Games. Anyway, I was really excited to see this game come out at Essen. It was an Essen release from last year, and now it's being brought out here. And this game is like a 2-player game where I guess one person's like an invading, was it a ninja? They're an invading ninja force coming into a village. The other player plays a bunch of samurai and things like that trying to protect the village, but it's all hidden placement. So you have a screen, and you have like a little map of the board, and you place your cubes on there where you want to invade, and they have to place cubes on there where they want to defend. First off, it's feudal Japan. So instant win in my eyes, and it has ninja, second instant win. It's 2 players. I'm not as excited about that, but what happens in the game is phenomenal for a 2-player game. Jeremy, you're excited about this, right?
Yeah, I love 2-player games. It's so hard to find, I think, fantastic 2-player games. There's good ones out there.
War Machine. I don't even know why you even bother. Matt, did you see this one?
No, I have not.
7 running. Well, anyway, what you got, Matt?
Let's start with from Albano Dragon, The Goonies. It's a card game, and it's by Ben Pinchback and Matt Riddle. It's Goonies.
Matt has a tattoo of the Goonies.
And I'm a sucker for it. I mean, it could be awful, but I'll probably pick it up. I think it's just a card game.
I think a couple episodes we were talking about game or themes that we'd like to see used, and you had placed this on there, and they just announced it around that time. So you got your wish, Matt.
I got my wish.
That's awesome. My first game, Seafall. Absolutely. That's by Rob. How do you pronounce this, Matt? Daviayu.
W?
Davio?
Davio. There we go. I don't know.
Davo?
Davio. I think it's Davio. Davio.
I apologize, Rob, but we'll get your name right.
Is there an EAU at the end of it?
We are absolutely terrible at pronunciations. I can't even say the word.
Anyways, Black Hat Games is putting out. So you guys will know him from the Legacy series, Pandemic Legacy, that was winning all the awards. Race Legacy. That's the guy. So this is a game he's had in production for 3.5 years. It's got legacy elements to it. It's actually called Seafall, a legacy game. But there's some he's got this book that's in there, and it's got some 430 entries. And as you play the game, you'll kind of seafare, and you'll play this province, and you'll flip over islands, and you'll pull these entries out of this book, and it's almost kind of like build your own adventure. And so the story, the plot, actually will be very, very different for every person that goes through it, because there's so much that can be done. And so the idea is that you build a plot as you go, and there is warring in there, but it's very limited. So you can get all your fighting out in the beginning, and then nobody can fight again because it's limited to so much warring that you can do. But he says, from the stuff I was reading, you can actually look back on the board and pretty much tell the story of that person based on how they went across the board.
I was not as excited about this game until I heard this description.
Yes.
What? I thought it was Risk Legacy Pirate Edition.
Nope.
All right, this is on my list for GenCon.
So I bet all my friends are going to kill me for telling everybody listening to the podcast this, but there's a very limited release at Plaid Hat. So you want to get in line for the convention hall as early as you can, and then book it to Plaid Hat because it's very, very limited.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's going to be super. I think they only have 100 or 500 copies or something. Yeah. I think it's 100.
Yeah, I will be there.
Super limited.
I'm camping out.
Is this Best Buy for Black Friday?
Right. Chick-fil-A for a year,
Yeah. Well, anyway, the next game, Welcome Back to the Dungeon by Antoine Balza, originally designed by Masato Usugi, and it's coming out by ELO. I've seen nothing other than the box, and I'm buying it.
That's all it takes.
Yep. Jeremy, did you Welcome to the Dungeon?
I'll play it.
Have you played it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go with Fantazi or Fantazzi or something.
It's like Yahtzee.
Yeah,
but
Yahtzee, but
Fantazzi.
Yeah, that's so. That game by Ron Miller, AEG. It's Fantasy Yahtzee. Why wouldn't you want it? I'll give it a shot. It looks like something I could pull out and play with the kids. So
on my guilty pleasures list, Yahtzee was one of them.
Yes. Right. We were a Yahtzee family growing up.
Yeah. You really like Yahtzee as well?
Yeah, we played it tons as kids, so a lot of it's sentimental for me.
You ever played Yahtzee Free For All?
I will.
It's fantastic. The best Yahtzee game ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's play it right now.
All right.
I agree with that. So, I guess my number 2. Sorry, mine aren't quite in order. Stockpile, Continuing Corruption. I should put my face close to the mic. Stockpile, Continuing Corruption. I love Stockpile. There's some interesting things that go on with. They got the forecast dice that are coming out, more players you can play. really looks like a great addition to what I think is a great game. So I just want to see what it adds.
Yeah, from what I understood of the Kickstarter and what it adds, it's pretty much an auto include, or at least most of it. So, I mean, I don't see how you can go wrong by buying it if you like Stockpile.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Approved.
Cosmic Kaboom by Matt Loomis from Minion Games. Did y'all see anything about this?
No.
No? Jeremy?
Nope.
Anyway, it's a game where you put out these little like triangles and it kind of makes up a board. So instead of playing on a 3 foot by 3 foot, you can expand these triangles, which is your home starting base or something. You could put those in the corners of this imaginary box as far out on the board on the table as you want. So it makes this imaginary border. Anyway, the rest of the game is pretty much kind of similar to Ascending Empires, like what it looks like. You put all these planets out. The difference is you're trying to flick your spaceship and hit these planets because you want to collect all 4 of the color symbols or all 4 of the color resources, one of each. So if you hit a planet that has the resource on it, you take that resource. That resource now moves to another planet of the same color, and then you keep flicking until you get them all. Once you get them all, the second phase of the game is you get this planet destruction, because what you're doing is trying to build the ultimate weapon or whatever, basically to destroy planets. So once you gather them, you grab this planet, and then you dexterity throw it on the table, and whatever planet it lands on, it destroys.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Once 7 planets are dead, each planet gives you points on the back. I think it's random, but it's not crazy amount of
It's
difference.
not like 1 to 5.
Yeah, it's not like 1 to 17. Yeah. It's like 1 to 3, 1 to 4, or something like that.
Right.
I don't know. And then you once 7 planets are destroyed, whoever has the most points wins.
You just had me at flicking your spaceship.
Yeah. You flick your spaceship, and then you start throwing stuff at the table. That phenomenal sounding. It's getting purchased.
Sounds cool. I got AEG again. We're doing Valley of the Kings by Tom Cleaver. Well, the expansion. I'm sorry, I didn't write down the name of the expansion. But I have not picked up the one before this, and I wish I would or will probably do so. And I'll probably pick this up with it because my wife, Nikki, enjoys this game.
Yeah, it's like an auto buy for you at this point now.
So that's...
It's a standalone expansion. My problem is they're not fully integrated. And that's why I really didn't pick up the second one, Afterlife.
Yeah, because that's kind of how the second one was too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel like this is the exact same thing. So he's going to have to start doing some dramatically cool stuff to continue to bring out Valley of the Kings things. Because I feel like you could buy one and be done. Because have you ever played Afterlife, the second one? Have you ever played Valley of the Kings?
I played Valley of the Kings, yes.
So the way you put the second one together, if you want to combine them, you take out like all the copies of a green card or whatever, and you put all the copies of a different green card in. It's not like you could just shuffle them up.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a weird deck building kind of thing. Deck construction.
Does it really play that much different though?
There's a couple of new mechanisms, but there's really nothing that different.
Gotcha.
I think the second one does play better than the first one, just because of the cooler stuff that's happening, because obviously you got more ideas. But I don't feel like it totally replaces the first one, so I'm not going to buy it.
Okay.
I should play it before I make that decision final, but I hope he doesn't continue to do this. Mix it up a little bit. So
Play Matt's copy.
I mean, they're not bad. They're awesome games.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you're coming out with the same game over and over.
Yeah.
Right.
Expansions come out with different abilities that you can shuffle into the main game, spice it up, but you're not playing the main game anymore. You're playing this game.
Right.
So.
All right, my next one is Tyrants of the Underdark. I almost wrote Tyranny of the Underdark. I won't go over that one. Tyrants. Dang it. Piety.
Tomato, right?
Yep, exactly. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah. Fantastic game.
I need to move my paper to where my mouth can still be on the mic.
Go ahead.
When I talk. So anyways, Gale Force 9 game. I won't talk anymore about it because we talked about it so much earlier in the show when we talked about Dice Tower Con. So I'll be getting that one.
Good Cop, Bad Cop, Undercover by Brian Henk and Clayton Skanky. I said it right in the video review, so whatever. I got it once at least. Overworld Games. Whatever. If it brings out Good Cop, Bad Cop stuff, I'm buying it.
Right.
Period. I mean, I bought the expansion, which replaces 90% of the components from the original game.
Right.
And I was like, this is amazing. So I can't see how they would do something bad. And they also have I think I read on there they have an equipment pack that's separate than this as well. So I'll be buying that. Also, I don't know why I didn't put it on here, but whatever.
Sure. I got from Artana, Corrupted Kingdoms from Raymond Chandler and Dirk Niemeyer. Sorry, I couldn't read my own writing.
You gotta get better at this, Matt.
Yeah. It just sounded like an interesting game. You're a bunch of like evil, like you pretty much dragons, orcs, and all that stuff. They turned into corporations, and they're trying to corrupt the world. And they're using like all the other like feeble races, like elves and humans and stuff like that, to do all their dirty work for them. So it just sounds interesting. I'll check it out. And
funny concept.
Yeah, funny concept. It piqued my interest on that. So I'll check the game out, and hopefully it doesn't let me down.
Cool.
Would it? So my next one is actually the Merchants and Marauders Broadside.
Oh yeah.
What's this?
It's a 2-player Merchants and Marauders game.
How did I miss that?
I have no idea if it plays like Merchants and Marauders. All I know is it's only 45 minutes. Because I love Merchants and Marauders the first 2 hours.
Yeah, that's very true.
And then after that, hour 3.
You just need to play with
slow
Eric.
game, hour 4. Play fast with him.
Yeah.
Me and him, one-on-one.
There you go. Play that game.
So yeah, that's literally the only reason I'm excited about this. I have not looked up what it's like. I just know it's a Merchants and Marauders game, which I like, but it's short.
New to me, so I'll be checking that out. My next one is Enchantress. It is a tactical miniature game that's played on hexagons, very similar to Yashima and the WoW miniatures game. But you play like 3 mages and you have all these spells. And I'll be honest with you, this game designed by Seth Robinson and Heath Robinson, I guess they're brothers, Rain Studios. Anyway, This game is one of those games where I saw the Kickstarter. I was like, meh, I'm kind of done with Kickstarter, so I'll just wait. And I want to play it. And if it's good, I'm going to be really excited. But it's definitely a game I'm going to try out before I buy. So.
Yeah.
From Asmodee, Robert Riddle, from Kevin Crane. It looked interesting, but it said something about choose your own adventure, so I'll probably check it out and see what's up.
Nice.
Never heard of it. Try it out. So I apologize to Stockpile and all my other numbers because I'm not giving out the names of the designers like you guys are. I keep forgetting, but we're not going to go back and do them, so everybody moving forward will get them. Actually... So the 5th one for me, Xenoshift Dreadmind, Michael Chanel, cool mini or not.
Isn't this the 3rd in the series?
There was a 2nd?
Onslaught?
Onslaught was the 1st.
Well, whatever. I'm pretty sure there's another one. Keep going.
I'll have to check that out. All I know is I like this game, but it always felt a little lacking to me. So just any kind of expansion with more cards, because a lot of the stuff.
Oh, is this an expansion or is it a standalone expansion?
Standalone expansion, so you can play standalone or expand it with the game. I'll probably combine the two because I want to have more options, more different monsters to fight, different guys to buy. It's my problem with Xenoshift always was 2 things: was it just felt like you're doing kind of a lot of the same, a lot of the cards are the same over time, and it felt like it got easier. Like if you pass the first Onslaught, you probably are going to be okay. If you pass the second, you definitely are going to be okay. The third is just kind of like, see how much I can do before I take it home.
Fair enough.
So anything to make it harder, I would like.
I definitely thought it was a game where I had fun playing it, but I don't know if I'd own it because you're right. There's not a whole lot of variation that happens.
I bought it and I've played it like twice.
Yeah. And yeah, this is the second one. The first one is Onslaught. I thought the first one was just Xenoshift.
Oh yeah, no.
Next for me is Spectres of Nevermore by Kurt Covitt, Smirk and Dagger. It basically adds a bunch of like unique special powers to each player gets when you're human form and when you're raven form, and then it adds upgraded tokens. So, I mean, I like Nevermore. This seems like it's going to make me like it more.
Yeah, I agree. I like Nevermore.
Yeah.
All right. From every year when I go, me and the family always go to the Blue Orange booth because they are predominantly family-oriented games. We're going to check out Vikings on Board. have the kids check it out from Charles.
No Vikings on board.
No Vikings on boards. Let me crush these names: Charles Chevalier,
My man.
Catherine Dumas, and Pascal Palamons. Killed it.
Nice.
What do you mean by killing it, Matt?
10.
There we go. So my number 6. Oh, we're not even giving numbers. I didn't even write down.
These aren't really in order. They're just kind of the next in line.
My next in line. It's gonna be Pandemic: Reign of Cthulhu.
I think you put your number 1 on top anyway.
Oh, I did. So, anyways, Pandemic: Reign of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Because I want to buy my first Cthulhu game that I actually like.
Whoa, Mansions of Madness, buddy.
My second Cthulhu game that I actually like.
I forgot about this one. I'm super stoked about this too.
There's just so much Cthulhu out there, and
But this one makes sense though.
Yeah.
It's like it's just spreading. I mean, it
is
really
a cool
fits.
theme for it.
Yeah, I don't care if it's a straight like reskin and they just now they're like green, brown, and yellow cubes, and it's the same thing. I really don't care if I can just get the theme in there with the pandemic feel. I'd actually probably prefer that than changing the game.
That's cool. Yeah, I think it's a fun looking game, and I want to play it. I don't know if I want to buy it because I buy all these pandemic games and everybody else already owns them, and I never play my copies.
You'll play my copy.
All right, fair enough. Next for me is Bloodborne by Eric Lang, Coolmany or Not. Bloodborne, first off, if you ever play the Demon Soul or Dark Souls series, this is the next in line. It's Bloodborne. It's frustratingly hard, and Eric said he's making this game frustratingly hard.
Wow.
There's characters in the game that can do infinite damage to you. Yeah, the description is very cool.
Sounds OP.
Very. It says each turn, one monster chosen at random attacks players, who fights back as a team, with everyone playing a card from their hand simultaneously to attempt to kill the monster. Players collect blood from the monster, assuming it dies. Based on how much damage they dealt, monsters can fight back with exploding dice that could potentially deal infinite damage. You fight as long as you want, but if you die in combat, you lose your progress. Players can opt out of fighting to bank their blood they've saved permanently, which counts as victory points. It's like playing Ink and Gold, like 20 rounds, but if you actually get caught in the temple, you lose everything.
Right.
That's
High stakes.
I feel like I'm going to completely hate this game when I play it, but it's getting bought.
Yeah. Oh, wow. From Game Salute, we got I Hate to Kill You from Jim and John Harmon.
Great name.
So it's based off The Princess Bride. So that'll be another game that me and my wife will probably be able to play together. And depending on I don't even know what the game is or what it does, but I do know my daughter likes Princess Bride, so maybe she'll be able to jump in on it with us.
That's cool.
I'll totally fanboy this one with you. It's got Princess Bride on it. I'll buy it.
Yep.
All right, my next in line, which I'm a little confused on now. Nope, never mind. We're not getting that one till the next after this one. Codename Pictures. So we saw Codename Pictures at being shown at Dice Con.
Yep.
And part of me is like, Codenames is good enough, but another part of me is like, I like Codenames. So why not have another option? You know, if it's a good price point, then why not have it in the arsenal? Okay, we can play picture version. I don't feel like putting so many words together and stringing them together. Let's look at pictures.
It could appeal to different people too.
I think also with pictures, the amount of brain wear, I should say, WEAR, could be a little less.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're the person trying to think of the word to give everybody, you just kind of, your brain after a while is just like, okay, I'm shot. I'm trying to think of these words to connect all these, and I just can't. Pictures might, be a little easier on you.
Yeah. Yeah. Potion Explosion.
Sounds colorful.
Stefano Castelli, Andrea Crespi, Lorenzo Silva by Coolmany or Not. This is what's that game on the phones and on like Sega and things like that? It's like a little gym game. When you touch a gym and it blows up, it kills everything next to it of the same color.
Kind of like Candy Crush, or
okay, we could do Candy Crush.
or yeah,
Candy Crush copy.
I can't. The gym one. I know what you're talking
It's like
about.
a super classic
Gym
game.
Crush.
Anyway, it's that game as a board game. You got this cool little box.
Bedazzled.
You have tons bedazzled.
Yes.
You have a ton of little marbles. The marbles are different colors. You put them in this box and they all trickle down in these different rows. If you pick a blue one to destroy, you get rid of all the blue ones that are next to each other and more come down.
Okay.
And you got these potions you're trying to make. So you're trying to get colors to put those marbles on those different cutouts of your potions. So it was released last year in Europe. Now it's coming out to America in English.
Coolness.
Or not. What?
Speaking of cool mini or not, I would like to check out Ta-da! From Steve Avery.
He was on the show telling us about this.
So I'll check that one out. Although I did look up, I could have swore he said something about doing the it's the name change, the Dart Gun Desperados.
Bandito.
Well, it started out Rubber Banditos, but I think they changed the name or something.
Yeah.
So I
It
didn't.
may not be coming out at GenCon.
Yeah, I thought he acted like he'd be demoing it though.
He probably will have a copy, like prototype.
Maybe, but I was hoping. I know that's something my son would like. So, but either way, ta-da.
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 Apologies to Vlada for forgetting his name on Codenames. I will not remember moving forward because I didn't even write it on the next one. So I put down Looney Quest, which we already talked about earlier.
Right.
So I think what happened, because apparently I pulled it off the list as being released. I think what happened was the version that Daniel got was German.
Yeah, it could have been.
And so I think the rules were all in German. That it wasn't released. So I think this might be the official release for America. Which I think per the Dice Tower Awards, it has to be released in the States or in English.
Right.
So maybe it'll be up for grabs family game next year.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, we have Doodle Quest, and the kids like it a lot. So
Yeah.
That's cool.
it's pretty much the same thing, but medieval theme,
Gotcha.
I believe.
Oh, really?
I think.
I probably want to try it out. It does sound interesting. I don't know if it's a game I'd buy, but I would play it.
Yeah, Doodle Quest is more sea-based. It's a lot of like underwater stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fun.
Well, speaking of the sea, next game for me is Ice Cool,
Hey.
where you basically take the box, the inception of a box, bust out box after box after box. It's like when you wrap Christmas presents for your mom, and you just put like a box and a box and a box and a box and a box.
Right.
That's what this game is. Because have you seen this? Well, all right. So it's basically it's a dexterity game, which totally is up your alley, right?
Yeah.
The box, you take out another box. Almost like when you take a box and you flip over the lid and put it inside of it. Do that 5 times. You take it all out, it makes this huge box, a border, like play area, that has like walls and doors and things like that. The penguins have like ball weights at the bottom of them, and when you flick them, they can spin. You can even flick the top of them, and they'll hit the ground and jump in the air over walls and stuff like that. The whole point of the game is one player plays a hall monitor, and the hall monitor has to run around and hit the other penguins to make them drop fish. The rest of the players are trying to collect fish. Really fast game. You play enough rounds for each player to be the hall monitor. Whoever has the most points at the end wins.
Like a hall monitor, like in high school?
Yeah, it's basically a high school for penguins. And so it's like a high school, but the graphics are all frozen over and stuff like that.
That's funny.
All emo penguins in black and white.
They're colorful.
Okay.
But yeah, the way the dexterity works and the way you can flick them, and they kind of just like wobble. They're like Weeble wobbles. So when you flick them, they can wobble, and you can actually get them to curve like around and go through multiple doors and stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I was like, ice cool. What's this?
I want to get this.
Yeah,
Coolness. Well, as I said,
I see what you did there.
yeah, me and my family, whenever they come up on GenCon on the Saturday, we always go to Blue Orange. We always go to Haba. We always go to Yellow. So this is Oceanus from Antoine Balza. It just looks pretty.
It's made by Antoine Balza. I'm in.
Yeah, so it's a pretty game. Everything Yellow does is pretty most of the time. So it's I'm sure. I mean, I'm not saying everything they do is awesome. They do have some duds, but they're got a very good track record. That and their fairy tale games. So they got a few. The Pied Piper will be out.
Very cool. My next one is Thieves of Nakala for 5 Tribes. And I don't know too much about it, but it sounds like there's a little more player interaction, a little more direct attacking that you do. I mean, you can do that now with like shooting their guys off with the red guys. But it sounds like there's a little more in that. So I thought it'd be interesting There's still blocking that you can do it, but to have a little more just like direct conflict, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I think this is it's a mini expansion, so it really just comes with more djinn.
Yeah,
or djinn,
there's like little
whatever.
thief djinns in there, and
yeah, so it adds like something small to the game, nothing like major. I feel like it's one of those, if it's $10-15, it's just okay, buy it,
go for
the
it.
game.
It's not going to make it a fantastic game.
Yeah,
but if you love the game or if it's not that expensive, go for it.
Next for me is Mystic Vale by John D. Clare from AEG. Have you all seen anything about this?
I've seen some.
All right. Well, basically, you remember the old game Hecatomb, where the cards are silk screened onto see-through cards? That's what this game is, but it's apparently more like a deck builder. So you're actually like deck building, but the game comes with sleeves, and you slice cards together. So you can actually build special abilities and make your cards stronger by applying more cards underneath, which reveals special abilities through them, because most of your cards blank and see-through, except for your one little spot. So you have like a top, middle, and the bottom of the card, and you put 3 or 4 cards into one sleeve, and now you've got one card that does all this crazy stuff.
Awesome.
So instead of buying new cards, you're buying new abilities to add to the cards you already have.
Right.
It's ugly. I mean, no offense. I haven't really sat there and looked at the art that much, but it does not look interesting in the slightest as far as the artwork goes. But man, it's a really cool concept.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it sounds fun. My next one from Passport Games, a game called Quartz by Sergio Halibon and Andre Zatz. It's a pressure luck game. I can't remember the exact story, but I'm pretty sure you're like dwarves delving in a mine, and you're it's got a pressure luck aspect. You're pulling gems out of a bag.
This sounds up my alley.
Things out of a bag, press your luck.
It's also described to have some take that, so I don't know how much take that it has involved with it, but it still sounds interesting enough to go check out. So
Cool.
My last one? I think it's my last one.
Yeah.
Innovation, Cities of Destiny. I always want to buy another Innovation game to make my friends play so they never want to play again. And I can be sad lonely with my 4 copies of Innovation that nobody plays with me.
Why do you have 4 copies? Or the game and the expansions?
There's all expansions.
Gotcha.
If you guys want to play, I'd love to.
I'll play it again.
Please.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a while.
I beg you.
I own it. I don't know why we don't play it.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Is that the little card game?
It's behind all that stuff. It fell back.
Okay.
It fell back there and I never found it. So maybe that's why we don't play it.
No, Innovation's fun.
Yeah.
Even more so than the
Cards
Game
are
of
in the
Thrones board
circle?
game.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is that game that none of my friends want to play with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Because everything you do is broken? Yeah.
I am decently good at the game.
Fair enough. Last for me is Matt's favorite game. Gets an expansion. Bang the Dice Game, Old Saloon, Michael Palm, Lucas Zach by DV Giacchi. Basically, it just adds more of the same. It adds more guys. It's basically some modules that you can add to the game to spice it up. So I can't see why it would be bad.
Matt's going to be at the doors at 7 waiting in line for that one.
I know, right?
No, he's not. He's going to be at USAopoly getting the Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle co-op deck building game. Just Nikki loves
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Fair enough.
So, got to get it.
For the 3rd time, I'll fanboy with you.
Yeah. One that was everybody's, right?
Yeah.
All right. And then the last one I'm going to say is Smirk and Dagger has they're supposed to have this Tower of Madness. It's a Cthulhu looking thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
What's it for? I saw the picture. I just didn't read it.
I think it is a game. They're kickstarting it. But it is a game. I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about it or something. I cannot remember exactly what he was talking about, but just listening to him talk about it, it sounded really, really interesting. It's kind of like Kerplunk. Is that the one where you're pulling the...
Oh, yeah, you're pulling the things out and the marbles fall?
That's pretty much kind of what it is, but I think as the marbles fall out, they do stuff.
That's awesome.
And like that's like madness coming out in the world, and it does stuff to you. So I think there's more to the game than just that. That's just a main part of it.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess that wraps up our GenCon stuff.
Extravaganza.
Yeah.
Yeah.